Dude, when Homeland Security invade your house,
you got problems
with dudes with guns and body armor.
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff; they were there to delete everything. Like the real people that were in there,
Oh,
like
that's
the same
funny.
thing with Epstein.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's fun. Of course, there's layers upon layers. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers. Like, you got a wild party. You also have those celebrity environments where celebrities all get together, and there's so many of them, in these wild parties. And if you got a wild party and P. Diddy puts on that wild party and, he sets everybody up.
I think the biggest name so far to come out is Jennifer Lopez.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
We have a scene like this, you gotta bring bosses with you. As you see, it's female friendly. We got a ladies and a female. She's butt ball. That's what I call it, raw dog. I'm not jumping the tub myself. Once everybody moves out, just me and the lady. This is my scene. I'm used to this type of thing. Doing what I do best.
Diddy party stories, man. That was like some weird memory lane.
Called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like? There were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand.
Get ready for the inside scoop on all the celebs who've been hitting up Diddy's exclusive parties. We're talking A-listers, chart toppers, and even some names that'll make your jaw drop. This ain't just regular gossip. We're about to expose the Hollywood elite like never before. Who's been sneaking around? Who's got secrets they don't want getting out? Joe's about to lay it all out, and trust me, you don't want to miss this tea.
A lot of celebrities, they go to these parties like this. And they not only Diddy parties. I went to a party before, and You Can't Handle the Truth and King Kong Ain't Got Nothing on Me was at one of those parties. I was bodyguarding one of the girls. So what I'm saying is that it's rampant, and this was years ago. This was over 20 years ago. It's rampant in the music industry. It's rampant in Hollywood, film, pictures, and anything.
Well, Gene Deal, man, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Hey, Cam, can I plug my books, man, on your show?
For sure.
All right, I got these two books out. The first one is My World of Bodyguard and a Hip Hop Star. The beginning of my life up until the time in which the Notorious Biggs died. It got stories in here about rap beefs. It got stories in here about any and everything coming through from St. Louis to New York City. It's got different entrepreneurs here in New York City and everything. Then the second one is Life After Death When Bodyguard and a Hip Hop Star. It has the night that Big died, everything that you want to know. Stories about Pun, Big L, Fat Joe, every and anything. You know what I'm saying? It also have The Crew's The Same Gang in it, and Slick and the Family. You can also, I'm the first person that ever did this. I put a QR code in here, right? Where you can go directly to some pictures that's not in the book, because they were gonna charge me extra to put the pictures in the book. So I did it the slick way.
You outsmarted them and put a QR code.
Yes, sir. Cam, thank you. I appreciate you, bro.
Girl, you won't believe who's been sneaking into these parties. Picture this. A hidden mansion tucked away from prying eyes, windows blacked out like it's Fort Knox or something. But Joe Rogan's got the tea, and he's spilling names faster than I can keep up. We're talking serious A-list action here. Oscar winners who act all proper on the red carpet? Yep, they're there. Those chart toppers you blast in your car? Yep, them too. And get this. Joe says even some royals are showing up. Yeah, you heard that right. Actual crown-wearing, palace living royalty rubbing elbows with Hollywood's finest. But here's where it gets real juicy. Joe's saying some of these celebs are so desperate to keep their party habits on the down low that they're showing up in disguises. Can you imagine your fave actress in a wig and sunglasses trying to sneak past the paparazzi like she's in some spy movie? And the tea just keeps getting hotter. Apparently, some of these A-listers are straight up lying to their own teams about where they're going. We're talking managers, publicists, even their own families getting fed some BS story about charity events or quiet nights in. Meanwhile, they're out here living it up at Diddy's place like there's no tomorrow.
Anybody who in law enforcement or people know the law, when Homeland Security ran up into his house, people will tell you, or people knew that it was just a matter of time that they was going to indict him and bring him in to see the judge, bro. It was just a matter of time. I just figured out with the grand jury and their different sessions and stuff like that, and then what one of the witnesses told me, I just figured it out that it was going to be around September that they were going to bring him in, bro. People might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did, to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't, he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You got to have principles, you got to have morals, you got to keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You got to know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial.
You know what's wild? Joe's dropping names of people you'd never expect. That squeaky clean pop star your little sister loves? She's there. The action hero who's always preaching about clean living? He's right in the thick of it. Even some of those super serious method actors who claim they never party are getting caught up in Diddy's web. By the time Joe's done spilling, you'll know exactly who's been partying it up with Diddy. It's like a who's who of Hollywood all crammed into one crazy mansion. People who wouldn't be caught dead together in public, letting loose behind those blacked-out windows. But that's just the start. The guest list is wild enough, but wait till you hear what's going down inside those walls. Joe's got the scoop on what these celebs are really up to when the cameras aren't rolling, and trust me, it's enough to make your head spin. We're about to pull back the curtain on Hollywood's biggest secrets, and you won't believe what's hiding behind it.
We appreciate that, brother. I just want to say this before we get started, Art, is that, you know, a lot of people think I came here to bring a black man down. And that's what I hear in the comments a whole lot. But it was nothing like that. You know, a black man didn't cuss a dead man's mother out. A black man didn't set his friends up and put them in a situation where they couldn't come home to their families no more. A black man didn't reach back and help the people that helped them make it up the ladder. It was Puffy. You understand? I got tired of Puffy going on different platforms talking about how he loved the people that we was all with, how he loved the people that helped him, when in fact, none of that stuff was true. So my whole thing about it is, man, I appreciate your platform for letting me, voice my opinion. And like I said, opinions like an asshole. Some of these cats out here get paid for their asshole. I get paid to give my opinion.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, yeah, you just on here giving your opinion, man. I mean, you was one of the people that was real close to the situation, so why not?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So with that being said, right, the last interview me and you did was a day after the raid. And when you look at everything now, man, how you feel about everything? It's been like a week, you knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy. Could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bro, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that because back then he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years has changed. And the behavior that he shows now and that he has shown by being Brother Love, I couldn't imagine that the police would be raiding him for sex trafficking? Nah, bruh. I couldn't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't him back then. He's a totally different person that he became. If you've seen him on other platforms, inviting men to party with him, inviting men to go shopping with him. You understand? That wasn't Puffy. That wasn't Diddy. That was...
Right, so we know who's sneaking around, but what about what they're sneaking around doing? Joe's painting a picture of these parties that's wilder than your craziest dreams. Honey, you think you've seen it all on those reality shows? Please. This is the stuff they don't dare put on camera. What happens when Hollywood's elite think no one's watching? It's about to get real messy up in here, let me tell you. These parties ain't your average red carpet affair. Joe's spilling tea about rooms you can't go into, drinks that aren't on any menu, and games that'll make your mind faint. We're talking stuff that would make even the wildest reality show look like a kiddie party. You know those celebs who act all prim and proper on TV? Well, Joe's saying they're doing things behind those closed doors that could end their whole careers if it got out, like weird, career-ending, reputation-destroying kind of stuff. The kind of tea that would make TMZ blush. You feel me? And get this, there's a strict no-phones policy at these parties. Now, why do you think that is? The streets are saying it's because what's going down is too hot for Instagram, too wild for Snapchat. They're trying to keep all that juicy stuff under wraps, but Joe's blowing the lid off the whole thing.
Biggs to his death. He caused a rift between Wolf and BMF that led to Wolf death. Cussed Wolf mother out. Lied about owing him $300,000. Because you had asked me how I feel, and I'm going to get into how I feel. Took a good friend of ours who raised money when he had the City College tragedy. A good friend of ours did things to make him popular in Harlem. Let him hang with us, be part of our crew the whole 9 yards. Disrespected him and wouldn't help him. This is how I feel about him being locked up and going to jail. Some people, their karma is so strong for what they do and what they did. The stuff that he did to Craig Mack. You understand what I'm saying? The stuff that he did to Black Rob and all those people in the spiritual world right now. His karma was about to catch up and was bound to catch up with him. You understand what I'm saying? His karma was bound to catch up with him, brother. So all these things that's going on right now, the learned behavior, what he got from these people who was not living spiritually correct, with their behaviors and the things that they've done. He go and transfer and do that to people with the fact of all these people that he's hurt, that always helped him and been on his side and been there for him. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're going to ever read about, bruh. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip-hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself because he knew that he was wrong, and he knew that he learned something that wasn't right. He know different from right and wrong, bro. You have a way to change. You know when something is right and when something is wrong, and you know if you're wrong, you get help. He didn't choose none of that, bro. He chose to be who he is, and now he gonna learn. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
These stars are living double lives. By day, they're all about their clean-cut image, doing interviews about their vegan diets and yoga routines. But by night, they're sipping on drinks that'd make a chemist scratch their head and playing games that'd make a Vegas casino owner blush. Ever wonder why some of your fave stars always look so tired on those early morning talk shows? Well, now you know, they ain't tired from working late on set, honey. They're exhausted from partying it up at Diddy's place until the sun comes up. And the tea just keeps getting hotter. Joe's talking about secret rooms where only the most elite of the elite can go. What's happening in there? Girl, I can't even repeat it. Let's just say it's the kind of stuff that would make headlines for weeks if it ever got out. By now, you're probably starting to see why these parties are Hollywood's best-kept secret. It's like a whole other world where the rules don't apply and anything goes. No wonder these celebs are willing to lie, sneak around, and risk it all just to be there. But hold up, we haven't even talked about who's hooking up with who. You know when you get all these hot celebs in one place with no cameras and no rules, things are bound to get steamy. The tea Joe's about to spill on these hookups? Girl, it's about to change the way you look at your fave celeb couples forever.
How you feel about all the people that's wondering why haven't any of Diddy big name friends came out to defend him?
Because either two things that I believe. Either they know some of the stuff is true, either they took part in some of the stuff that happened, or they scared that it may mess up their brand. See, nobody wants to be in contact with anybody that allegedly was sex trafficking. You see what the WWF did to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was one of those people that was called for sex trafficking. We don't hear a lot about it because he gave up the company, he did what he was supposed to do, and he became Ghost. But now you see they trying to do the same thing to Puffy. They trying to make him or hip-hop the face of sex trafficking like they was going to do to WWF at one time. Because that was a big story. So a lot of his people that know him, a lot of the people that been in those parties and seen probably some unscrupulous shit that went down and was like, ooh, I was there. I hope they don't got me on tape. They feeling a certain way. So they're not going to speak on nothing until they've been approached with something. You got to realize when Homeland Security get their evidence together, they're going to send agents out. You understand? They might send an agent out to me. Yo, what do you know? What have you heard? What have you seen? What's been going on? You know what I'm saying? You know, did this happen when you was around him? Did this happen back in the day? That's what they're going to want to know. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to send investigators out. They're going to send people out for anybody that they can get some information from to help their case. So those celebrities ain't gonna say nothing. You know, you got your man Stevie J speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exists, you know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine he had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs and little tape recorders, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're going to let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man. I know they got to be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah.
You know how they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Well, honey, what happens at Diddy's parties makes Vegas look like Sunday school. Joe's spilling the tea on celeb hookups that'll have you clutching your pearls and reaching for the popcorn. These parties are like a real-life soap opera, but with way more drama and a whole lot less clothing. Joe's painting a picture of celebs letting loose like you wouldn't believe. We're talking A-listers who act all prim and proper on the red carpet, getting down and dirty behind closed doors. Now let me tell you about the hookups. Joe's dropping bombs left and right about who's been cozying up to who. You know that heartthrob actor everyone's obsessed with? Turns out he's been sneaking around with that pop princess who's supposedly just friends with everyone. And that power couple that's always gushing about each other on social media? Well, the streets are saying they're both playing the field at these parties. But it ain't just the usual suspects getting frisky. Joe's talking about surprise couples that'll make your jaw hit the floor. Imagine that serious method actor who never cracks a smile suddenly all over that reality TV star known for her.
When they did that raid, you understand? What they did was, prior to the raid, they reviewed that civil lawsuit. And that civil lawsuit told, Cassie's civil lawsuit was Lil Rod had already did it. Lil Rod hadn't did his yet, did he? Did Lil Rod do his lawsuit before the raid or after the raid?
Oh, before.
Yeah. So what they did was they reviewed both of those civil lawsuits and found that there was some criminal activity in those lawsuits. We spoke that on Art of Dialogue. We spoke about that on your show. I said if they really wanted him, all they had to do was review those civil lawsuits. And once they find the criminal activity in those, they could bring him in. Now, did the Federal Bureau of Investigation in Miami do it? No, they didn't. Did California do it? No, they did not. The Southern District of New York, they took it upon themselves and put on that raid and everything based on the information they found in Cassie lawsuit and the information they found in Little Rod lawsuit. But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Because you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City. They turn around and give him the key to the city. All the mayor people that he brought on here in New York City are all resigning. They all resigning. People ain't gonna tie this together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his relationship with Diddy, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him. Because the feds is going after all these politicians in New York City.
Yeah, the feds revealed that, anybody that, participated in any, criminal behavior at his freak offs, they're going to pursue.
Listen here. The mayor here take like 15 spoons of sugar in his coffee. So it's all a possibility.
Do you think it's any celebrities on them tapes?
Bro, he gave celebrity parties. So what you think? I think they're not telling the whole truth, is that because of the situation in Miami and the situation in California, and they closed the clubs like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and something like that, that Justin and Christian was bringing big vans of girls and people back to the mansion and giving parties and stuff like that. And a lot of those stuff were their parties. A lot of that shit was their parties. They wasn't always Puff parties. It was his son's parties.
Good point. They said some of these freak offs will last for days.
That's where they're going to get him on the sex trafficking thing. Especially like if he was traveling and doing it. That's where the sex trafficking come at. That you hiring sex workers to come and have sex with your girl.
These parties are a pressure cooker of emotions, and sometimes things get messy. Joe's heard whispers about fights breaking out over jealous exes and new flames. There are tears being shed in fancy bathrooms and screaming matches in the hallways. It's like high school drama, but with millionaires and movie stars. And you know what's wild? Joe says some of these hookups could shake up Hollywood if they ever got out. We're talking career-ending, scandal-making kind of stuff. That's why everyone's so desperate to keep it all under wraps. But honey, secrets have a way of coming out, especially in Tinseltown. By the time Joe's done spilling, you'll never look at your fave celeb couples the same way again. That cute duo you thought was #relationship goals? They might be anything but behind closed doors. And that star who's always preaching about being single and focused on their career? Well, let's just say they're doing plenty of networking at these parties. But wait, there's more tea to spill. What happens at the party is just the beginning. The real drama unfolds when the sun comes up and these celebs have to face the consequences of their wild night. Joe's got the inside scoop on the morning after madness, and girl, it's about to get even juicier. You won't want to miss this.
That's some Hollywood shit that I don't even know, bruh. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But they also claiming that, Diddy, he'll give ecstasy to his victims to keep them obedient.
Then they have to bring those witnesses in there. That's going to be something hard to prove. Unless Lil Rob or Cassie state that was something that happened. That's how the prosecutor's going to prove that. They got a ton of evidence that they got to try to prove, bro. A lot of that that if you read it, it could be circumstantial. You know what I'm saying? But they got to have witness to back it up. You just can't say that happened based on somebody lawsuit and what the words that they're saying. They have to have witnesses in there. And I think Puff lawyers is going to be smart enough to attack that.
Right. And they claiming that Diddy, he was blackmailing his victims because he had videos from old freak-offs and he was using those videos to get his victims to do another freak-off. So,
if he was blackmailing people, especially people that work for him, see, this is what it's going to get him at. See, people think that, those people work for him, or those people, if they was artists and they worked for him, or they were engineers, or they anybody that worked for them and stuff like that, your boss cannot blackmail you to do nothing. If you do a sexual act or you doing anything, your boss, if he have you doing those things like that, then he could be liable for suit. Because you're not doing it willingly. Because that individual is your boss. So psychologically, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say, that when somebody has something over you, could determine your job, your career, your livelihood. That's somewhat of a blackmail if they holding stuff that they've done, that you've done in the...
Girl, you thought the party was wild? That's just the appetizer. The main course of drama gets served when the sun comes up. Joe's about to spill some piping hot tea on what these celebs do to keep their dirty little secrets from hitting the streets. Trust me, it's messier than a toddler with spaghetti when that morning light starts creeping in. That's when the real work begins. Joe's saying there's a whole secret team that swoops in like ninjas to clean up the mess. We're talking professional fixers, PR wizards, and straight-up hush money dealers. These folks are the real MVPs of Hollywood, keeping your fave stars looking squeaky clean while they're out here living their messiest lives. The streets are saying some of these celebs are dropping serious cash to keep people quiet, like we're talking buy a house kind of money, just to ensure nobody spills about what went down at Diddy's. And it ain't just about paying off the staff and security. Nah, these stars are out here creating fake aliases that would make a con artist jealous. They've got friends lying for them, posting old pics on social media to make it look like they were somewhere else. It's a whole production, honey. But that's not even the craziest part. Joe's spilling tea about this secret team of social media scrubbers. These people are like digital ghostbusters, hunting down any trace of evidence and making it disappear faster than you can double tap. They're hacking phones, buying up security footage, and probably sacrificing a goat or two to make sure nothing leaks. When they did that raid, you understand what they did. It's wild out here, and the lengths these celebs go to keep their secrets are beyond anything you could imagine.
And start going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bruh. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned. That's a learned behavior, bruh. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women, stuff like that in New York, but the things that they're talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man. So I'm just looking at this whole thing, man, and you had asked me, and we don't have these conversations like most people do. We're going to go back and you're going to tell me what, we're going to talk about this. You said, I'm going to ask you how you feel, bro. I don't want no man to ever go to jail and be leaving their kids behind, be leaving their family behind. You understand? But some dudes belong in jail based on what they do.
and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You got to realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's going to make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bruh. It made him into a monster, bruh. I personally feel like he got a lot of the things that he did from his mentor, and then he probably did it to the 10th power. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he was a drug abuser. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he used to put his hands on women. So it's a learned behavior, bruh. Some of that stuff may be in him through his childhood. Through his childhood, he may have some of that things in him, but a lot of things that he was doing was a learned behavior, bruh. You just don't just turn it in a matter of years the way he was doing people, man. You understand? Check.
These celebs are living in straight-up fear. Joe says they're jumping at shadows, paranoid that their wild night at Diddy's is going to come back and bite them in their designer-clad behinds. They're out here smiling for the cameras, but inside, they're shaking like a chihuahua in a snowstorm, wondering if today is the day their secrets hit TMZ. After hearing all this, you'll never look at celeb PR the same way again. Next time you see one of those heartfelt apologies or perfectly timed red carpet walks, you'll be wondering what kind of cover-up is really going on behind the scenes. It's like a whole other level of Hollywood magic, but instead of special effects, they're using straight-up smoke and mirrors to keep these stars looking pristine. But here's the tea that's really got me scratching my head. Why is Joe Rogan spilling all this now? What made him decide to blow the lid off Hollywood's best-kept secret? The streets are buzzing with theories, honey. Some say he's got beef with Diddy, while others think he's trying to shake up the industry. Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure. This tea is hot enough to scald, and it's only a matter of time before it burns someone for real.